Alphacam 2015 R1, the ribbon bar GUI. If we talk about the evolution of the graphical user interface, when we moved from the APS-DOS version to Alphacam for Windows, this is the interface that we had. Pull-down menus with icons to select our commands. A few years ago we had a professional rewrite of the interface with new icons that could be large and small and various other functionality. And now we've moved to the ribbon bar GUI. Now as users of PCs, we're used to our ribbon bar GUI. We can see it here in Paint. We can see it in Word and Excel, for example. We also have it when we're using our CAD systems, and now we have it within Alphacam. One thing that I want you to note on here is the quick access toolbar. These are all our favorite commands. This toolbar can be positioned above or below the ribbon, and we can see how we can configure this in Alphacam. We have 50 new icons in Alphacam because we no longer have menus, we now have ribbons. All Alphacam modules have the new ribbon GUI, including AlphaEdit. Let's now have a demonstration of the new ribbon bar GUI. When I look within Windows Explorer for Alphacam 2015 R1, I can now preview my Alphacam part files. So if I move down to large icons, extra large icons, we can see a preview of the parts within Windows Explorer. If I change to a list, here I have the preview pane. So if I click on my component parts, I can see a large preview within Explorer. So that makes it easier for me to navigate my PC and find the parts required. When I open Alphacam, I get this relevant tooltip screen that gives me useful information for the latest release. I can, if I want to, switch this off. So along the top I have my ribbon bar GUI. I have my various tabs, and when I click on a tab, a ribbon appears. And what I have within those ribbons, I have groups where I have relevant command icons grouped together. If I right click, I can customize my ribbon. So on the right here, it lists my main tabs. I can see the order in which my tabs are along the top, but I can reorder. So I'm actually going to move my geometry up by clicking on this button, and I'm going to move my edit up next to my geometry ribbon. And this is reflected in the tabs along the top. If I don't want to use a ribbon, I can switch them on and off. So I can switch nesting on, constraints on, for example, or I can also switch them off. I can create a new tab. So if I have new tab, I'm now going to rename it to my tab. I must have at least one group within it, which is automatically created, but I can rename it to my view. Then if I come across to the left, here are all my different icon commands. I'm going to go down to View, and I'm going to add 3D views. So if I close and I go to My tab, I've got a group here with 3D views. Again, if I right click and go to Customize Ribbon, here we can see our tabs. What we also have here is the Quick Access toolbar. So currently the Quick Access toolbar is above the ribbon, but we can change it to being below the ribbon, and this has all my favorite commands in here. So I'm going to go to 3D and Cancel Work Plane. I'm going to add that to my Quick Access toolbar, and that's reflected over here. Once I make changes to my Quick Access toolbar and my ribbon configuration, I can export this, i.e. save it away, and I could then, for example, import it on another PC running Alphacam. In Options, if we switch off our tips at startup, we can switch them on again. Within the appearance, we can have different visual themes. So if I change this, we can see it changing. Let's change it back again. And also we can, if we want to, use menus and toolbars legacy, so have the old menu configuration, though this will be disappearing in 2016 R1. If I go to my Alphacam button, in here we have previews of my component parts, much larger previews with some relevant information underneath. You can also pin this file, so that will always stay in your recent documents. If, for example, you had a template drawing that you always drew on top of whenever you started a new component. The help area is improved, where we can access the Alphacam help, and we can also access the support portal, as well as access to social media. And on the right hand here we see all about our Alphacam versions, very useful for support. Now if I minimize Alphacam, we'll see that the icons dynamically change size. If we go to Edit, we can see them changing. But if I want to, I can set the size of my icon. So I'm interested in here in Start Point, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to customize control style, and I want to always make this large. So we can see the start point is large, and when I minimize Alphacam, it will endeavor to keep that icon large. If I go to my Home tab and I select a post, right click and open, we'll see that Alpha also has the ribbon bar graphical user interface. So to summarize the new ribbon bar GUI in Alphacam 2015 R1, we can show tips at startup, relevant information for the release. which we can also switch off if we require, but we can switch it back on the right-click customization. We now have improved previews of our recent documents, which can also be pinned. And we can customize our control style. So if we want a button, for example, to be a large icon, we can do this. We can hide ribbons. We can reorder our tabs along the top that access the ribbons by using the arrow buttons. We can also customize our quick access toolbar with all our favorite commands. We can import and export our configuration once we're happy with it. We can reset our ribbon if we make a complete mess of it. And we can also switch on the legacy menus, but this will not be available from Alphacam 2016 R1.